Well, welcome everybody. We were having technical problems earlier, so I decided to leave and come back. Hopefully, you can hear me now. Not sure if this is all okay, but let's see here. Okay, so there's still nobody in here right now. Hopefully, they'll have refreshed the page and found me again. Um, okay, so I guess they were hearing me before I left. So, anyways, we're going to start with telling you that the reason I'm here today is because of everything that's going on in the world. Everything is absolutely crazy. We no longer, the CPU no longer does regular live streaming. I've decided we are a not for profit corporation. We need to act as that and not act like we're just a we're just any, yes, Facebook group or how can I say, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, a group of, um, oh my gosh, I can't know how, I don't know why I can't get this. Um, Grassroots. Okay. We're not a grassroots movement. Okay. We're a legal entity that can go after legal entities, AKA our government, and such that, are doing things. But, anyways, our purpose is to place the people as the collective head of state. Uh, Here in Canada, because we really don't need King Charles as our head of state, because the way that the head of state is, it's not the same thing as a republic. In a monarchy, and the reason why they're saying that the monarchy, it's good in a sense because you're never left without a head of state. So the country is always protected because the head of state is always there. So, anyways, with what's going on in Alberta and everything else, and with Trump's stupidities and everything else, this place is not going to be for. If you're part of the MAGA cult, this place is not for you today. So, I'd advise you to keep marching. But if you're somebody who wants to know the truth, who wants to actually listen instead of arguing, we will not put up with any arguments. I no longer put up with arguments in the chats. We are the CPU. We are a not for profit a corporation. We have debts and bills to pay all the time. And we're not just a normal grassroots group, Facebook group, or whatever. It's what we do is serious. And if you're not serious, then this is not the place for you, because we are looking at something that takes a lot of research, takes a lot of guts to say. When people, don't want to listen or want to argue about it, well, you're barking up the wrong tree. Okay. In regards to any provinces being able to separate or to become their own republic or whatever, no way, Jose. I've made a video for everybody. It's kind of lengthy, but it goes from the beginning to the end. First of all, I start off with why Alberta can't separate and what's behind it. And what you need to know that's behind is people are bought and paid for to cause all this shit in Canada. And the people who don't realize this, well, you're being used. Okay. So Albertans, people in the Western provinces, even Quebec, are being used and abused by their own governments and even lawyers who haven't an iota and who think that, well, if Trump supports us, then, we only need one country to back us up. No, it's like what we were saying. We need one country to back us up, but to bring it to the floor at the United Nations. And you have to have grounds for that. Alberta has zero grounds. And as far as I'm concerned, the people in Alberta do not understand how federation works. And the fact that, okay, to begin with, they don't understand the history. So I kind of give it, pretty fast in the videos that I made up. So you want to know everything, go and sit down, take the time, listen. Don't bother arguing with me. You can argue with the research papers, okay? So the CPU and our members don't need to even argue with any of yous who want to try to contradict this. Learn, listen and or listen and learn, and then you can argue with the documents, okay, and the laws. So anyways, and we're not talking about bad law that the government has created. This is international law. And there's no way in hell that Alberta can separate or become a republic, okay? And there's nothing that Donald Trump can do to help that at the international level. So, anyways, good luck with that. Anybody who's talking to you about the separatist movement in Alberta, well, go and find out who's paying for this. Mr. O'Leary, maybe? The Trump administration? Uh, so be smart, people. Okay. So I haven't come online for a reason in a long time because I really don't know what to tell you about the truth. Because most of you don't want to listen. Most of you don't want to support the CPU. You're saying, well, I've signed a long time ago and nothing's been done yet. But I've told you a million times since 2017, we found the solution. We put it together. We can argue it in court any day with anything they try to throw at us. We'll be fine. And we'd win our case. The only downfall is a corrupt judge. So, you know, so, and that's why we need to have the people's help. That's why the people need to stand with the CPU, become CPU members, make the sacrifices you need to make to save this country, and quit complaining about it and learn. We are about teaching you how to debate these issues, where to get the laws to make sure that you have something to back it up instead of just lip service and not even knowing what the hell you're talking about. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, the four Western provinces, not even worth listening to, not worth the time of day. It's a waste of time. You know why? Because once you listen to that last video I made, I didn't really it's really hard to explain what has happened, but they've had over 65 years to prepare for what is coming within the next 20. You want to know, oh, why is, you know, they're chemtrailing, you bitch about chemtrailing. There's the 5G, there's the vaccine, there's the COVID, all this corruption. Where's it all coming from? Oh, it's the weather's got to be HARP. The environmentalists might be wrong or not wrong. What's up with that? Well, you'll find out when you listen carefully, and then you go and see the links, and then you look at the research. What's going on in this planet? All the BS in regards to religions and everything. All the attacks. Why is Israel trying to destroy Gaza? It's not the Israeli people. It's the Israeli government. Should we be fighting amongst the people? No. We need to look at our governments. Are the Jews and the Zionists two separate people? Yeah, they are. Separate belief systems. It's like Christians and the KKK, if you want to take it that way, or born again Christian or whatever. Okay? The differences in religions, different values. Zionists, Jews, Christians, doesn't matter. It's how people think and what their belief system is. But right now, there should be no division at all between human beings because we're all one race, human beings. And we're going to need each other more than ever now. You've seen what's happening in Manitoba. You've seen what's happening even Saskatchewan now, the fires. Those fires are going to get worse. There's a reason for it. There's a reason why the United States started digging tunnels back in the 50s, mainly 60s. There's a reason why it went broke by the 1970s with spending all this money to try to have a place to hide when the shit hits the fan. Where do the people have a place to hide? They don't. What's the shit I'm talking about? This earth was never meant for human beings. That's what they found out. That's what they've been trying. That's why they're using the environmentalists and global warming and, climate change. And they're dressing it up to manipulate the people. They dressed it up to make people think that CO2 is the cause of global warming, and it's not. I was wondering, why are people so stupid and dense in this time when they were smarter than that in the 1800s? They could think more clearly. They can do much more things. Well, okay, well, maybe it's because they didn't have electricity, all that much. They didn't have, they had the only thing they could do is talk, go to their neighbors and have conversations and think a lot and write a lot. What's the difference between now? Now we're entertained. So the mind goes right out to lunch because you need to have pictures going through your face. Otherwise, you don't know what to do with yourself. Can't pick up a pen, can't even think on your own. There's no more critical thinkers as far as I'm concerned. Not enough anyway. There's still some. So to me, it was okay. Well, when I found out the truth, going back to see why did Nixon change the monetary system in 1971 when the United States went broke and they were going to be exposed for having sold too many bonds in regards to gold, that more than they had. They didn't want to. He refused to pay the debt. Trump is doing the same thing. Trump isn't all of a sudden this intelligent man. No, they had to take the stupidest person on this planet that would buy the bullshit they would feed him and then go and do that. And I'm talking about the earth was never made for humans. Okay. And once you see exactly what's happening within the next 20 years, you'll see that is true. Okay. If it was made for humans, it would be falling apart. And one of the scientists back in the 50s knew that, they couldn't tell anybody because they didn't want everybody to know that they were on a planet that was accident prone, so to speak. And the thing is we're sitting on a ball of gas, and that's the reality. I knew about this in 2009, but not in a specific scientific manner. Okay. And then I say this to people, they say, well, you better keep your mouth shut. Don't talk about this. Don't say where you got it from, because they're going to think you're nuts. Well, I would have liked to have proven that I was nuts. Okay. I really don't want, how can I say, I don't like what's going to happen, but I see its necessity. Okay. When you're thinking outside of the box. So when you're thinking in regards to humans, well, it sucks. Okay. When you're thinking of as a spiritual human being, then you understand it. So I would rather think in a spiritual way, because that's what I was introduced to in 2009, not by a Buddhist or whatever. Okay. But anyways, it's too bad that people have not had those experiences. Now I understand why. I used to think, well, everybody's like me. Totally wrong. That was the first thing that I got wrong, was to assume that everybody was like me. We're all humans. We all feel, we all think, and that's the farthest thing from the truth. We're all different. We all have a different vibration. And we all have a different level of brainwashing that has been done throughout the minute we are born. Okay. So we can't blame any people, any humans, for anything that's happening. If we would have been connected, if we wouldn't have been lied by the religions about opening up to our inner selves, and finding out the truth and stuff. But now I'm being vindicated, and it hurts. It hurts. to see what's going to be happening. Won't be for the faint-hearted. Okay, our weather is going to change abruptly. It's going to get worse and worse. We're losing our magnetic field. I've been watching the sun ever since 2009 for a reason, because I wanted to see if what I was told was true. But all in all, we're here for a specific reason. Um, we all have a gift to give. Everybody is special. We're all equals. And I'll repeat this: nobody's better than anybody else. Although some of you might not have had the experiences some of us have, many around the planet have had them. I'm not alone. I've had the proof of that. And if I hadn't been brought to Six Nations territory, well, I would have been forced into it no matter what, but they brought me here for a specific reason. And I've stayed 17 years, but now I'm tired. I'm tired of speaking to people who don't want to listen. I'm tired of arguing with people who are going in the wrong direction, thinking they're right. I'm tired of fighting with other groups, trying to get them to come and listen, and they don't want to. So when somebody tells me, oh, you got to go to the other groups, leave me alone. Okay? Leave me alone. I've heard that a million times. The groups know where we are, know what we do. I've presented to them, and they want nothing to do with what we do. They want to be right. Let them be right. Let them sink the ship with the ship. We're all going to sink with the ship. But at least some of us, spiritually and inside, will feel a lot better. You know? Because when I said, well, why am I here? The answer was, we are here to birth a daughter. And I went, what? I'm too old to have a kid. Like, are you kidding me? And that's the joke of the day, right? And no, but the thing is when you look at now, Venus is now turning the same direction as the sun, clockwise. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for the Earth going counterclockwise. There's a reason for all of these things, and none of them have to do with human beings. Because as human beings, we are only half of ourselves, our true selves. Because that was separated. By whom? Not the Creator. The Creator gave us the chance of having a full consciousness, which was stripped from us when humans were created. And it's up to us to learn how to use it, learn how to accept what's coming, and I wouldn't say rejoice in what's coming, because it hurts like hell to see that, and to see how people are not being told about it. And that's why Elon Musk and Trump and everybody are doing what they're doing. And in that video, I tried to explain it without trying to blurt everything out. But today I'm blurting everything out. Okay. There's some videos that I should have put on there that I'm reserving, though, for the people in our group, our members, for them to see and for us to discuss and to watch. So anybody who doesn't want to join the CPU, well, there's nothing much I can do there. If you're not ready to commit, neither are we. Okay, so we will commit to the people who join the CPU and are members and really want to know how to navigate all of what's going to be happening. And yes, we are standing on a gas ball of fire. They tried to lie over the years. That's why they lied over the years. They want us to believe that it was a hard rock. And what's coming out now is the magma. Today we're supposed to be we're experiencing a huge flare, so the internet might be choppy a little bit. Don't worry about that. But just goes. I just need to explain to you is that don't think that all of the bad weather we're getting is because of HARP. From what I was reading in the scientific notes and everything, and in their plan, excuse me, what they did with propaganda was they created the propaganda so that you would and the harp stuff, the harp is not even strong enough to be able to do any of this. So there's a lot of BS that people swear they're true but they're not. They were fabricated that way so that they can use and manipulate the people and to make people think, oh well, that's just harp, and if we get our hands on it we can shut it down and everything goes back to normal. Mm-mm. Harp was created for that reason, really to just watch what was going on. But what's happening to the planet now is being done by the planet itself and the sun. And the other planets are now changing as well. So everything is going. Okay. So Venus right now is there's, and you have to know that in science, it's all assumptions. Okay. Not they think they're pretty close on the reality of things. But see, back in the 50s, they found out about the pole shift, and which the planet will tilt 90 degrees. When the planet does that at intervals, okay, 12,000 year intervals, we're past that point. So when there's a tilt, um, then the poles kind of change, okay? And that's why we have dinosaurs. They found dinosaurs and stuff in Saskatchewan, Alberta. Now, my main worry, okay, is the northern part of Canada, and the northern part of Canada. There's and between us and Russia, there's huge magma plumes, okay, and these are funnels coming from the core of the Earth, the magma, and going all the way up to the crust, and it's melting the permafrost. Okay. It's melting the permafrost. So, what's happening to the mountains in Switzerland right now is because of the sheets that we have. And then mountain, the lava and everything, and the mountains were created and whatnot. All of these things are sitting on ice that is melting from underneath the planet, which has zero to do with CO2, okay, that we create. So the government has manipulated everything to make us believe that we're creating the CO2 so that they can manipulate us and to form city jails, okay, your 15-minute cities, all these things and whatever. um so um so Sherry's saying that this all sounds like NASA fear mongering. No, it's not. So before you think that this is fear mongering, do your homework, do your research, read documents, actually read research documents, and you will see that this is not fear mongering. Okay. This is reality looking at you in the face. And I don't care if you believe or not, or you trash me or you don't. That's going to be your problem, not mine. And neither with our members. Okay. So the whole point here is to get you ready and prepared to find out exactly how the government is trying to fool you. Is there something that we can do to extend the time of this planet? Yes, it apparently there is. Okay. There's things that we can do to help prolong. But anyways, we won't know the truth until we take over our governance. And this is why it's still important for us to keep moving forward, because we don't know how long things are going to take. We don't know. They don't even know how long things are going to take. But right now, just get ready for stronger weather. If we're going to be building homes in Canada, we need to be building them with steel, not wood 2x4s. Um, there's all kinds of things that could come into play that to change things around once we have our power, which as the collective head of state, we could have the government expose all those papers, research and work together with other countries to make sure that um, humanity is well aware of what's going on. Because right now you've got the in Greece, okay, there's tons and tons of small earthquakes, but they're very close to the floor of the sea, and they're really worried over there. So again, that's going to maybe ignite one of the worst catastrophes in regards to volcanoes. So you're going to have a lot of darkness, a lot of cold, a lot of all kinds of things. So they thought that once the volcanoes start erupting and everything, well, uh, we're going to go into an ice age and everything's going to be great and we're all going to be able to hide underground. And when the earth is okay, well, we'll be able to come out, when the sun shines. How long do they plan on living underground? Maybe 50 to 75 to 100 years. Who knows? So then they did all that. The United States went broke. And then they found out, oops, look at these holes in Siberia. Look at these holes everywhere else. Look at these cracks. Um, why is the Earth sending out solar flares? Well, guess what? You're sitting on the sun. That's the second coming. The first sun was the moon, but then eventually died for good reason. The second coming, another sun. Whether it's our Earth or Venus, I don't know yet. But Venus didn't have tectonic plates like we do, apparently. But you know, without our magnetic fields being sustained, um, the tectonic plates are going to slide. They're going to go. Okay, so guaranteed, we're going to go into a pole shift. We're almost there. Okay, we're apparently, according to the scientists, we're in the final phase of speeding up. So if you're looking at, if you're looking at Alberta and all those places where you have the what are those lakes where steam come out of? Denny, you can help me with that. You did yesterday. The lakes where the steam comes out of. You told me the name yesterday. Hot springs. Yeah, the hot springs. What's underneath a hot spring? Why? Okay, so I mean, you don't have to go look far. But the thing is the Siberian plumes goes all the way underneath. It's going to be connected to the Ring of Fire along the Pacific, and yeah, the hot springs. Thanks, Sherry. So, anyways, that's all coming. Okay. Don't know when, where, or why, or how it's going to be done. Are there things that we can do? And this is why you're now seeing drill, baby, drill. Okay, in the United States, Trump. This is why you're seeing the government saying, "Oh, we're going to deregulate everything." Why? Because they need to get off the planet. There's no more going underground. There's no more things. They're going to live on their Noah's Arks, their big $1 billion yachts. No, because no, it looks like it's really gonna. You appear to be in panic mode, Leon. No, I'm not in a panic mode. I've made my peace with this a long time ago. What I'm in a panic mode about is the lies that are going to be coming to destroy this country, where we could all be putting our heads together, get our rights, find out why King Charles is the head of 4 of the 5 eyes. Okay, 4 of the 5 eyes. And know that, yeah, the conservatives and the liberals have been working together for a very long time, and all the political parties as well. Just go to idu.org, O-R-G, start reading how they all got started, because it's that organization under the Bush administration, senior. And my our Brian Mulrooney, hypocrite. Um, so, anyways, that's how the European Union was created. That's when the European Union was created, and then they want to create the North American Union over here. So, when we're looking, the towers and everything, it's all to watch what's happening. That's what the towers, and they want to watch people. They want to have to be able to monitor us because there's a lot of things involved here. Now, if permafrost is defrosting, okay, and they've come across all kinds of bones. The mammals who, when we had the ice age, they froze instantly while they were eating, and there's videos on that. They're showing you what it is, and they've even eaten some of the meat in some instances to see if it had really well preserved, and sure enough, nobody died, or so they say. Anyways, do we really know the truth? Until we are in power, we will never really know the truth. And that's why, for me, it is very important that we get our hands on all of the information, not just in our country, but worldwide, because the very elite know about this. And that's why Elon needs to get the hell off of the planet. And he needs everybody. They don't need children and they don't need old people. They only want the in between so that they can get the best of the best to help them get the hell off the planet. Where are they going? They can't get out of our atmosphere. Okay, that's everything that MIT have tried. It blows up. Okay, so they can't get out of our atmosphere, but we in our atmosphere, there's where the space station is, and that's where you have the space in our atmosphere. So what they're planning on doing, from what I can see, is to build a space city off of the space station for all of the important people. Now, they don't know how long they'll have to stay in there, but they know that two people can actually live there at least 9 months anyways without wanting to kill each other. So they have that as an example. And when you look at what Elon is trying to build, yeah, they're going to ship buildings up there for to float in space around our Earth until maybe the Earth kind of fixes itself. But they're hoping just for an ice age. Uh, a total washout, maybe it won't be so bad while they'll watch from space, and then they figure out where they can land because all the satellites are there and they can communicate and they can do all kinds of things. And where are we? Dead. Okay. And they'll want to know exactly where everybody is if some survive from space. Okay. So that's the little bit of tidbit of information I wanted to. No, there's nowhere to go. The only place that we can go is either extend time, working together to try and, they think that degasifying the plant, some of the places will give us extra time. And that's why they need to degasify. And they don't care. They need to build, build, build. And that's why aluminum is so important to Trump right now. And he's going to put a tariff and blah, blah, blah. And, uh, but Elon Musk and Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and their companies for outer space are going to be trying to create as much as they can. They want the most intelligent people on, to come and work for them. And to help them build these ships and these components for outer space while we all die here. Okay. So seriously, it all depends how we're all going to handle this. Are you ready for it? And are you spiritually okay to be able to handle it? Because our last job here is to remind everybody that we are just a particle here of ourselves. Okay. We're still with the true creator, not the earth god. Okay. And the true creator was smart enough to send us as particles pure pure spiritual beings within our consciousness. Our bodies might belong to Lucifer, but our consciousness belongs to Creator. And those who kind of got taken over by other spiritual beings while on this planet, well, you know, you can your pure consciousness is still there. You just need to find it. But anyways, that's another long story that we reserve. Um, I'm not I'm zero part of religions, because we don't know who was telling the story and by what and how true it was or whatever. A lot of it was made up over time. A lot of the only ones who were able to print were the kings and the Vatican. So, always manipulation, always manipulation, always manipulation. So if we want to know the truth ourselves, we need to keep supporting the CPU. Come and learn, and we'll deal with this issue, see what's going on. It's not right that they will deregulate, especially when people's wells might get poisoned in the meantime because, a corporation needs this or that. They don't need that regulation, so we'll deregulate. And then to hell if, 50 people down the river die. So we need to stop that. We need to make sure that people are still protected in the sense, while we also try to extend time for people to adjust. Okay. So we need to be very careful. We need to be. I really don't care what they do to me at this time, because and I should have spoken about this before, and this is why I served. We served the king through his commissioner, high commission, on the 27th, through a bailiff in Ottawa and the governor general. So they were delivered before they actually left. But at the same time, whether the king got it before he left, I don't know. But the job is for him to get that letter of intent and demand, stating that by law we are the legal head of state, we the people, as of 1982. So we just need to make it happen, but we can't make it happen without the people wanting it to happen. Now, some people in Alberta, the next time I get somebody advertising on the CPU, Power Shift to Freedom, Facebook group or anything, I will delete you, because we are a not-for-profit corporation. We are not a Facebook group, okay? So I don't care what you think, what you say, but anything in relation to becoming a republic and to separate Canada, you are wasting my time. You are wasting Canadian people's time and the people around this planet's time in facing the reality and talking about real issues that are more pressing than your stupidities that could never legally happen anyway, because a Canadian is a Canadian across Canada. An Indigenous person, if you look at the documents that I posted and that we read to you, so you can't say you can't hear it or you can't read it, it states in the the Indigenous Nations of Canada, Aboriginal peoples of Canada. Canada means what? Albertans? Just in Alberta? No. The rest of the nations have the right across this country to see. They have interests in Alberta. Every Canadian citizen is a shareholder across Canada of what is Canada and Indigenous person. So no, Albertans, you do not own the oil. You do not get to determine what happens to it. You do not put that in your pocket and walk away to the United States. You can go straight to hell. And you will, if you don't pay attention. So that's my rant for today. The stupidities need to stop, and the greedy SOBs who are using the Albertan people so that they can have their seat in the space station or their own little, compartments, their own little villa in space. You're not even going to survive there. And we you will be joining us anyway, because the earth is becoming a sun. So you can't even hope to go to space and not be touched, because it's all gonna go. Where one goes, we all go. So, as mean as this may sound, there's nowhere for them to run and hide, or to use the Canadian people or any people on this planet. We need to get together and to see on prolonging this, and get people to understand who they are within themselves, so that they can better be equipped to deal with this, because there is nowhere to hide for no one. You can't even hide from yourself. Okay. Nobody owns this planet but the creator itself, the true creator. And now it's cleanup time. And birthing a new son, no matter how hard it is for us to digest. You want to call me a liar? Go right ahead. But creator has the last word. And if that's what creator wants, creator is going to get it. I wish I was wrong, because I've got grandchildren. I have a reason to want to live. But at the same time, they're still up there. This is just cleanup time. There's no ascension that's going to happen. Ascension means you die. What we are here spiritually will no longer exist either, because we're already up there. What's pure is already up there. What's not pure down here remains here and will disappear with this. Okay, that's the best part. We no longer get to carry the memories of what we know from here to contaminate the rest of the universe. It's game over. That's the end game. So creator was smart. Thank you. I thank creator for that. And hey, you know, right now, like I said, we can work together and try to prolong things, because I'm going to give you an idea. I want to show you what is happening in Manitoba right now is really heart-wrenching. People being stuck in the midst of fire is going to happen even more and more. But is it being done by our governments or by some environmentalist who wants people to listen and to be afraid and causing these fires? Are they just happening? Is the earth actually, because there's fires coming in through the earth? I know that they've mentioned the north of the Canadian north is affected by this as well. Do we know where our plumes are? How can we mitigate the situation? How can we make sure to evacuate people from those areas? We need to get together and do all this and protect everybody. And this is why I came to use today, because we don't want this to happen again. We want to make sure that everybody is protected, and that because there are ways of finding out uh, exactly what's safe for a while, and to make sure that people are protected. Okay. And I was going to show you the video that was released this morning, but I'm not. I've told you it's about enough trauma today. Um, but again, don't argue with me. Go and research. And these plumes are coming in from inside the earth. It's not CO2 that's giving us any global warming. It's the earth itself. Okay. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. Nothing. The earth will do what it has to do. All we can do is move along and let it do what it needs to do. We don't know what's really going to happen in the end, but I was told we were birthing a son. Whether that'll change or not, who knows? That's up to the creator. Okay. But we just need to know where is the bad weather coming from. We need to stop them from using HARP. We need to, and this is another reason why they were using chemtrails, was to make a ring. That what I was told in 2009 was that they were trying to create a ring of clouds around the planet. But inadvertently, what they're trying to do this ring for is so that all of the stuff gets kept beneath the clouds so that they can be okay in space. Okay. So they're using the clouds as a barrier to protect themselves in outer space once they're there. So are they trying to off gas? Well, this is what all that's been recommended is degassing the planet, but the the magma's coming. You can't stop what's you can't stop it. You can kind of help in areas, and that's why I'm really worried about northern Alberta, especially there. Um, but at the same time, we need the Albertans to stop with the BS of the 51st state or becoming a republic or whatever. Easier to do what we're doing and to get our hands on all of the information and to have access to be able to make changes that will save people's lives, save Indigenous people's lives out more, in northern, all the northern provinces. Make sure everybody's okay, not sitting on top of a plume or anywhere close to that. Checking them permafrost, making sure everybody's got food, everybody's got what they need, and only by getting together can we do this and knowing the facts. And until we know the absolute facts, we don't know which way this is going to go. But Albertans need to shit and get off the pot. Quebecers, everybody, every separatist needs to stop it now. And to, I'm not an environmentalist, but when you're talking to me about plumes coming in from underneath our feet, and eruptions, huge eruptions, magnetic fields being destroyed. Excuse me. I'm going to have to call this quits because when I talk too much, I can't breathe. So I'm going to have to let you with this. But anyways, there is hope. Where there's a will, there's a way. And where there's hope, there's always a will. So please join the CPU at the cpu.ca. You can join us. We will have more discussions on these topics, get everybody ready for D-Day, and to see how we can all help each other, because now is the time to come together and not to separate. And their stupidities need to stop. So anyways, I will not be coming on live streams at all anymore, that like I used to. I'm not interested in it. I don't care about it. And there's so much BS on the internet that it's really, really hard to get to the truth. There's all kinds of stories. So we need to make sure we got to work 3 to 4 times as hard to find the factual information and because what I showed you on those videos, the video that I last did. It lasts, I think, an hour and 44 minutes or so. But anyways, it goes from how they all got together, how the liberals and the conservatives have all did this deep integration into the United States business wise without us not even knowing about it in that sense. And how they all work together to create 2 different separate factions. And if one can't do it, then the other one comes in, and then back and forth. There's no difference between a Republican and a Democrat, or they're just their agendas are twofold, and both are combined together. So it's just a teeter totter effect. So if you want to know the truth, join the CPU. If you want to keep the bullshit, we'll see you at the end times. Take care. And don't forget to go, and if you believe in what we do, then please make sure to go to canadianreferendum.ca, sign your referendum. If you believe in what we're doing and you want to try and save this country and you want to know the truth, get everybody you can to sign. We've brought you the solution. There's nothing more we can do at this point other than we've already warned the king and the governor general, informally before, now formally, more formally now. All of the MPs, MPPs all know what we're trying to do, and they're ignoring us. So if you no longer want to be ignored, then join the CPU, support us, and we need to be able to go and get 51% of Canadians to realize what's going on. Okay. So when it comes to yeah, left wing and right wing, same bird of a cage. We are in the middle. Okay, I'm not left wing. I'm not right wing. I want equality for everybody. Everybody's equal, and everybody has a responsibility, and you have one to yourself. And if you're wondering how can I smile at the end times like this, I'll tell you, I cry more watching a TV show when people are hugging each other and they're happy. It makes me cry. When I talk about this, I don't cry. Why? Because I'm happy with what I've done. I'm happy with who I am. And although I have grandchildren and my son that I love more than life itself, I realize that, yeah, you know, when they said your higher self, that you're still up there and all of this will be wiped out, including our own consciousness here. We don't drag anything back. It's like, wow, I can go for that. And that's why I can accept it. So the CPU.ca or CanadianReferendum.ca, see us there, join the CPU, and let's have more discussions and try to see how we can, uh, make sure that we have more time to organize and everything else. And time is of the essence. And that's why I kept telling you is we're running out of time. We're running out of time. But I couldn't tell you exactly because I didn't have the proof enough of what was going on. Now we do. The proof has only been out there really for 10 years for the people to find out about it. Okay. So, hey, we'll see you soon. And if you want to hear more about the CPU, you're going to have to join. Okay. So, talk to you soon.